The opinions expressed in the following program are that of the host and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions of CWC Entertainment Group LLC, its affiliates, or any employee thereof.
Yeah. I might make a one check. Come on, down, welcome to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. They do it big, y'all. Big music, there's so much more. Hey, keep it here, y'all. How's everybody doing out there? It's your girl, Myskenna.
It's your boy, Yellostar.
What up? It's young man, Remon.
And of course, you know, we are the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. At least 3 members holding it down for Vincent and Charity E. How are you doing today, fellas?
I'm feeling good, feeling great.
I'm good, man. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, just getting ready for, got a lot on my plate, but you know what I'm saying, I'm good, you know what I mean? Like last week I had my partner getting married, you know what I'm saying, got a chance to see one of the homies for a long time, homie, you know what I mean, getting married.
He hung up the belt?
Yeah, he was being a little bit resistant towards it.
Oh, wow.
Like the night we went out the night before, and I think it was finally starting to set in, like, yo, man, tomorrow you getting married.
Oh, it finally,
yeah, it finally started to set in, like
all that cake tasting and
it finally started to set in. So I mean, but congratulations to my partner Logic and Cindy, you know what I mean, love y'all, congratulations on the wedding. Other than that, man, I just been out here working.
Right on, the urban advocate, always out here in these streets. And speaking of entrepreneurship, you already know this time of the year is just always exciting. At Tiki's, we are having our final customer appreciation / Cinco de Mayo, girl. I mean, boy. You better know it. You know, that makes me perk up.
Right.
Over 80 flavors, that soft fluffy ice, you know, nachos, Frito pies, funnel cakes, anything you want from the snack arena, we got you. I was teasing the girls yesterday because, you know, the Bible says that we're supposed to leave a generational wealth, and it's funny because in black society, this is they've been showing studies that this is like the first generation that's actually starting to really get that
actual wealth instead of just having some money.
Exactly,
because it's not the same thing.
It's not. And see, this is the one thing that I was able to take from my grandma was, see, my grandma was the candy lady in the neighborhood. So they had a bunch of kids, so she always had employees, right? Mm-hmm. Then in the summertime, we would always go stay with my grandmother, right? So even when my dad and my aunts and uncles were too old to work, guess who got to work?
You.
Hello, all of me and my cousins. And then guess what, as a kid, when you get paid, what's the first thing you gonna do naturally?
Probably go buy some candy. So she'll give you some money and you mess around and give it right back to her.
Let me get one of them at the end of my shift. Right.
Hello, right. See, my grandma gave me the blueprint. So all this time I was thinking, I was like, you know, maybe she didn't. They may not have left us with no money, but she left us with the knowledge.
With the mentality. She laid the foundation. Like, I know with me growing up, like, I used to sell all kind of things. You let me get my hands on anything, I sell it.
Right.
And, you know, but I learned early, you know, how to, you know, have enough money to re-up or whatever it is that I was selling, but put some money back and not touch that money. You know what I mean? So I learned early about profit, savings, and, you know, having the money to reinvest into whatever it is that I'm selling. So
Righto, whatever it is that you're selling.
Yeah, whatever it is. Don't ask me no questions.
Ask no questions.
Unless you can finna buy it right now, don't ask me no questions about what I'm selling.
Hello, well, on that note, we're gonna let y'all go on and rock to that and wonder, what is Remon? Because you know he is the Titan Attack, right?
Titan Attack.
And we'll be back with y'all. It's your girl, Myskenna, Yellostar, and Remon with the Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
Yeah. Bring it back, Mr. Heartbreak.
What up, people? It's that young man Remon, and it's time for today's reality check. And today's reality check is going out to none other than Mr. Robert Kelly.
Do you like teenage girls?
R. Kelly, that's right. Now, if you haven't heard by now, just this past week, R. Kelly's spokesperson, entertainment attorney, and assistant have all recently resigned from their positions after recent allegations of him knowingly giving a woman a sexually transmitted disease and grooming an underage woman to be his quote-unquote sex pet. Now, all of this news comes after a string of allegations that R. Kelly has been the head of a sex cult going on this past year. And after this, maybe it's time for R. Kelly. Maybe he'll actually admit that he has a problem. I'm shaking my head at you right now, sir. Pause. I think the world would be a little more forgiving if you would just come out and be open about your past indiscretions. If you would just come out and admit that you have a problem. If you would just come out and say, you know what, I've done some things that I'm not proud of, and I'm taking the steps to make amends for my past mistakes.
Well, he'd have to start doing that.
He'd have to start doing that, wouldn't he?
My mind's telling me no.
But instead of owning up to your behavior, you keep denying it.
Do you like teenage girls? When you say teenage, how are we talking?
To somebody who's still in their teens, bro. What you mean what I mean?
I have some 19-year-old friends, but I don't like anybody illegal if that's what we're talking about, underage.
My goodness, man.
Do not listen to the people that was fired. You know, don't even listen to the people that was hired.
You keep denying it. You keep acting like everybody else is the problem.
My body's telling me it.
You keep making it seem like everybody else is unfairly out to get you, brother.
Unfortunately, the people that don't work for me says that. The people that do work for me don't say that.
The reality of the situation is this. People who refuse to accept accountability for their actions and accept responsibility for their behavior, they are incapable of learning from their mistakes. They will continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And you know what, Robert? If you keep at it, everybody in your circle is going to leave you. And then you ain't going to have no wall of defense. You will be faced with your past indiscretions whether you want to or not.
Some people think that you like underage girls. What do you say to that? Well, those people that don't know Robert, they don't know me.
Your best line of defense right now is to just come out and say, I need help. And then you just may get the help that you need. That's today's reality check. You can take that to the bank.
But there is something that I must confess.
I don't see nothing wrong. No, we're not doing that.
I see plenty wrong, especially when you talk about underage girls.
When you say teenage, how are we talking?
Y'all gonna learn today. Only on the Vincent Tucker Show. Playing today's best music. Playing today's best music.
Came through tripping. Diamonds on my wrist, they tripping.
Came through dripping. Came through dripping.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus? If they're trying to party with the queen, they gon' have to sign a non-disclosure. I took the top off the Maybach. I took the top off the Maybach.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
What's up, DFW? Y'all gotta join us for the grand opening of Tiki's Shaves Ice. Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue, Dallas, right down the street from Roosevelt. Tiki's Shaved Ice, open daily at 1 p.m. with over 80 flavors of soft, fluffy shaved ice. Tiki Shaved Ice will also have all your favorites. They got the nachos, Frito pies, hot dogs, and more. For the grand opening, try the special Cinco de Mayo snowballs. That's the grand opening of Tiki Shaved Ice, Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue in Dallas, and I'm gonna see y'all out there.
iHeartRadio does something no other app or website can do. Thousands of live radio stations you can take anywhere. Want to listen to that station in Denver? If you're in Philly, no problem. In Atlanta and you miss LA? No problem. Plus, iHeartRadio lets you create your own custom artist station. DJ Khaled, and this is iHeartRadio. Just type in the artist you love, and iHeartRadio creates a station just for you. With their biggest hits, all commercial free. Free radio and unlimited music, all in one app. iHeartRadio.
Syndicated, award-winning Syndicated. This is the VTRS Vincent Tucker Radio Show. Vincent Heartbreak Tucker, Myskenna, Yellostar, and Remon. And if the next sound is you hearing Yellostar punch me in my face, it's because I want to apologize for being late. Seems like in recent weeks, me and Yellostar have switched schedules.
So what does that say about you?
Here's the thing. I don't understand why as black people we can't raise each other up without tearing each other down at the same time, man.
Message.
I thought he was giving you props for being on time.
Yeah, no, that was like a backhanded.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
It was.
It is the word of the day is subjective. It's
oh no, you ain't go 444 me.
I was giving.
You're not gonna do that.
I was giving him a compliment. No, I keep having to do like last minute updates to my notes and stuff before I get ready to come entertain the people.
Oh, so you're late for the people's sake.
Yeah.
I got you.
I don't want to be unprepared. We're syndicated and award-winning for a reason. And gotta make sure everything is done to continue that trend.
So it's not because you're distracted and something is keeping you warm in the bed and that's why you're getting up later than you normally do.
It has nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay.
The great part about me is I've never lied to you, Keena, so,
Sure. You see, I remain silent.
Do you see how good I did just now?
You know what? I'm gonna walk that back. Keena, I've never lied to you since I turned 30.
Okay.
All right. That's low. Look, if there's one thing we know Vincent knows, it's dates.
And even
so if he puts a date in it.
And even that's subjective.
No. Hey, you're not gonna 444 that. That's blueprint 1. That's blueprint 1. That's the truth. How about that? First of all, before we get into Bill Cosby, pause.
Resume.
No, actually, I'm gonna save that comment. I'll wait. Oh, Paula Patton is our guest this episode. Let me mention that. Her new movie Traffic is in theaters now with Omar Epps and Lance Alonso. That's the guest later on this program. And shout out to Jerry Jones. I've been hanging out all weekend at not only NFL experience but also the NFL draft. Jerry Jones is gonna draft me first round, but I told him no, man. I was a star in 6th grade. It's been a long time.
Right.
Go ahead and get the linebacker from Boise State.
It's because they just got his, medical report back and they saw that he got the sugar, so they don't want him to lose a toe out there. See, I'm gonna come back for you.
That was a great comeback.
I'm gonna come back for you.
That was a great comeback.
Yeah, that was Magna Carta Holy Grail on that.
Exactly. Not the fact that he got the sugar.
So many Jay-Z references for you. Jay-Z, oh my God.
Eventually we want to explain these references.
Yeah, we had to.
I was thinking about that too.
Bill Cosby. Unless you have been sleeping under a rock, because I do know everybody receives news at different times. I understand that. But if somehow you have missed it, Bill Cosby was found guilty on 3 felony counts of aggravated indecent assault in Pennsylvania and could face a hefty prison sentence of up to 30 years for the 2004 crime. Cosby was convicted unanimously after his retrial, which allowed prosecutors to bring a much greater burden of evidence and testimony against the man once seen as the American ideal of a father.
I wonder if he's going to be locked up in the same prison as Jerry Sandusky.
And how old is Bill Cosby again? Like 80 years old,
He's
right?
80.
So he was in his late 60s, early 70s, still roofing people?
Apparently.
They don't open all the cold cases.
Yeah, apparently.
Bill Cosby blue pills just ran out.
His blue pill ran out, so he went and got some roofies.
The old crimes.
Some Spanish fly.
Listen, now, I got so many questions.
Bill Cosby gonna be 110. He gonna be the oldest man alive when he get out of jail.
A lot of my questions are about.
Think he gonna get out?
The legal strategy that they took in his retrial. He has some horrible lawyers.
He's not even gonna be able to see the jail.
Right, because he blind.
Yeah, I know he didn't see this coming.
There's a chance though that the 30 years may end up being a concurrent sentence, so it may actually only be 10. But based on state guidelines, it'll be a minimum of 5. And there actually may be some ways, even after the 5 years, to reduce it to lower than that. So. Right. Bill Cosby possibly could see little or no time.
He's not going to see anything, right. Vincent.
He's not going to see any time.
So, the group chat was lit about Bill Cosby, and if I read this right, and I don't want to misquote anybody, but I believe the understanding amongst the group is everyone felt like Bill Cosby was too old to go to jail.
I mean, at the end of the day, I guess that's kind of what it boils down to. But I think with his status, I don't think the public is served by putting him in jail.
Exactly.
But I think he has an opportunity to take this horrible thing that he's done and try to do better. Like, you have a good platform, learn from what you've done, and try to help people who've maybe been victims of this, help the people that you've affected. Like, he has a chance to do better by these people, so I'm hoping that he will try to do something to take this stain off his legacy. Because at the end of the day, he is still Bill Cosby. I mean, we all did. Back in the day, we grew up with him as a dad.
You speak for yourself.
And isn't him doing that admission of guilt?
What they used against him in his trial was his admission of guilt from the 2004 settlement. Right. When he paid the girl $3.4 million, he admitted that he gave her pills.
All I got to say about this is that
Bill, come on.
James Evans was my TV daddy. So,
plus, let's not even forget, if you listen to old Bill Cosby albums, he makes jokes about putting stuff
about Spanish fly.
Right.
Oh,
so I don't understand why people are so surprised that he found guilty of a crime that he tried to pay to go away.
Because it's hard for people to separate, the person as the entertainment from the entertainer.
From the character.
Right. And so they're looking at him like he's Dr. Huxtable. Mm-hmm. Right. Instead of looking at him like Bill Cosby, who's capable of doing something like this.
And who's admitted to doing this.
He's like R. Kelly. He's taunting us at this point.
But I mean, you don't think at some point he should try to make reparations?
Now, normally I agree with that. Certain celebrities, I feel like they're better served outside than inside. Like when T.I. was trying to do all that good stuff before he went to jail, because he thought if he did that, he would not go to jail, but he still went to jail.
Like talking
to kids and going to community centers.
Right.
Like, in that case, I would have kept T.I. out because he would have been better served
on the street.
But he was always somebody that was doing stuff in his communities too.
Right.
So.
Bill Cosby, who is pretty much one of the faces of Me Too, there is no benefit of him trying to right this wrong, because who's going to go listen to him?
Yeah.
No one's going to give him a chance.
I mean, I think you have to put the work in. It's not going to be like in 2 weeks or 3 months that he's going to be able to host events and sell stuff out. But I mean, try to pick up the people and the community that you let down. If you actually care about the people the way you pretended to back in the day, then try to do better by them.
But I mean, it's like, and I hate to I don't. I'm going to keep comparing him to R. Kelly. Okay, but it's like I told R. Kelly on the Ramon's reality check. Somebody who refuses to accept responsibility for their actions can't learn from their mistakes.
That's true too.
So until he comes to terms with what he's done and the damage that he's caused, he's not going to, learn from it, and he's going, even if he's not still out here doing the same thing, the mentality is going to continue.
Yeah. Yeah, and then not only that, I think for Bill, like you said, the difference in Bill the person and Bill the character, he was always so hard on some of the comics that were coming behind him. So for him to be so critical and to be, found guilty of this type of crime, like, that doesn't help his case either.
At all.
Yeah, let's remember, I'm glad you brought that up. This investigation started because of a joke that Hannibal Buress told on stage at a concert when someone pulled off their cell phone and the joke went viral.
Right. And
then all these women came out and they started telling their story, and this is how we got here.
Cause I mean, I remember this case in particular when it first came out back in 2004. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who were shocked about this and never heard any of this stuff, but it's like, I've been hearing this stuff for the last 10 plus years.
Right.
So, I wasn't surprised by the conviction.
Yeah, I never forgot about the settlement. Pretty much, when you're paying someone to make this go away, you've already said, I did it.
What are the effects? Like, what happens to a woman when she's roofied?
From what I understand, it's like they're like conscious, but they can't move.
Right.
Oh.
It's almost like they're incapacitated to defend themselves against anything.
Like, you can kind of see what's happening around you.
Right.
You understand that this person's on me, but it's like you just stay there and you can't move.
Bounce TV's already removed reruns, and so we'll see what happens in the aftermath of Bill Cosby.
Now it's time for the good.
Jada Pinkett Smith is making her return to the airwaves. Her, along with her mother, Adrienne Banfield Norris, and daughter Willow Smith, are set for an upcoming Facebook talk show called the Red Table Talk. Fans can expect unfiltered conversations from the family of women. It's described as a series of groundbreaking, intimate, and candid conversation. It's a weekly format, and it brings together 3 generations of women with very different viewpoints as they reveal their personal experiences and thoughts about today's most compelling issues. So stay tuned for that.
That would be awesome. Did they announce a date yet?
Yes, May 7th.
May 7th.
Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because, like they said, 3 generations, and they're all so beautiful.
I didn't want to go there, but Jada Pinkett's mom could
Really?
I'm gonna stop.
Now, it's time for the bad.
Khalees. She reveals that Naj,
The who?
Right, Naj. I have a cousin named Naj.
You couldn't see Remon's face, but, like, he was hurt just now.
I was like, did she combine Nicki Minaj and Nas together?
I don't know what happened. Anyway.
Was that their relationship name? Nas?
I guess so.
They were together?
I guess so. Naj.
Sorry. He physically abused them during their marriage. Let me start over.
Yeah. And add the word allegedly when you do it. Go ahead.
Right. Allegedly, Khalees is opening up about the mental and physical abuse she suffered while in the marriage. According to a recent interview with Jason Lee of Hollywood Unlocked, she said that she was going to reveal this whole situation, but then that was around the time when Rihanna and Chris Brown had their domestic violence situation, so she didn't want to come out just then because she's such a private person, and she didn't want to feel like she was just trying to... Basically, the timing of it wasn't right, but I guess the timing of it is right now because she's healed from it and she's finally ready to come out, and she wants to help other women that have gone through the same situation.
I mean, and plus with their little custody battle thing that they got going on, I guess if she was going to come out, this would definitely be the smartest time for her to do so.
I would agree. She said that, at that time she would have bruises all over her body and she would have to hide them. And that's where the kind of the mental part of the abuse came, the hiding of it.
Now, it's time for the ugly.
Sierra calls Future an absentee father. She said that Future is slacking off big time when it comes to their son and wants a new visitation scheduled for little Future. Unlike Gary Allen, Future does live up to his financial responsibilities as a dad. However, Sierra claims that their son, little Future, doesn't get much quality time with them, and that's kind of part of the problem. When he does go to visit, he's staying with the grandparents or the great-grandmother, not necessarily spending time with Future.
I was wondering why this story was more uglier than the Khalees abuse story, but when she name dropped her baby daddy, that made sense. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I think that's just an ugly story. Like, it sucks. And this is also a word to the wise. These women out here think that just because they get them a baller, they get knocked up, that everything's going to be all right. But yeah, she gets paid, which for a single mom, I can appreciate that part of it from Future. But there's more to parenting than the money. The money helps, but there's also, other things that the little boy can be taught.
You don't know about it. Russell Wilson's teaching them.
And I think that's the moral beauty of the story. Thank God blessed her with a good stepfather.
With the sucker?
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
They bonded and they didn't have sex allegedly until they got married.
I'm glad you put allegedly in that because
nobody believes.
I mean, I believe that, for a while.
Sierra's goodie stays in her jar.
That's Russell Wilson's son. That's not Future's son. That's Russell Wilson's son.
Oh.
You see them all in the snap together, hugged up. That's his son.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because he's the stepfather. So that comes with the package.
Apparently, to your story, he is the father because Future ain't.
Hey, but Future's still paying that check. I ain't mad at him. Pay your check, but still, Future, there's only some things that your son can learn from you, even though he has a great stepfather. Come on, dude. If this is true, allegedly. Step up to the plate. It's your girl, Myskenna. Today's good, the bad, the ugly. Pay your child support, too.
Playing today's best music.
Take it down, 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 down. Keep it up. Let me introduce the tempo. Let me introduce the tempo. Put your phone out, gotta hit them angles.
like you Fable, and you showing off, but it's alright.
I woke up in Chris Brown's body. So hot it's turned into Freaky Friday.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
What's up, DFW? Y'all gotta join us for the grand opening of Tiki's Shaves Ice. Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue, Dallas, right down the street from Roosevelt. Tiki's Shaves Ice. Open daily at 1 p.m. with over 80 flavors of soft, fluffy shaved ice. Tiki Shave Ice will also have all your favorites. They got the nachos, Frito pies, hot dogs, and more. For the grand opening, try the special Cinco de Mayo snowballs. That's the grand opening of Tiki Shave Ice. Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue in Dallas, and I'm gonna see y'all out there.
iHeartRadio does something no other app or website can do. Thousands of live radio stations you can take anywhere. Want to listen to that station in Denver? If you're in Philly? No problem. In Atlanta? And you miss LA? No problem. Plus, iHeartRadio lets you create your own custom artist station. Just type in the artist you love, and iHeartRadio creates a station just for you. With their biggest hits, all commercial free. Free radio and unlimited music all in one app. iHeartRadio.
What up, people? It's that young man Remon, and it's time for today's reality check. Now, today's reality check is going out to all the followers of Mr. Kanye West.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Now, this past week, Kanye West went on a tirade that had everybody up in arms and upset with Kanye.
It was really just my subconscious. It was a feeling I had.
For those of you who don't know, Kanye officially announced his love for Donald Trump.
I just love Trump.
His admiration for Donald Trump.
That's my boy.
And he's been airing out personal conversations that he's had with people like John Legend and Ebro from Hot 97.
I feel like people try to minimize me.
Right now, all of these had all of his followers questioning whether Kanye West was in the sunken place.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
But I got some news for all you. Kanye West has been in the sunken place for a while now. As a matter of fact, I honestly feel like Kanye West invented the sucking place.
How, Sway?
If you ask me, the movie Get Out was loosely based on Kanye West.
Bro, I'm sorry I hurt you.
I first noticed Kanye West wasn't Kanye West anymore right around his graduation album.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh.
Maybe now people will stop making excuses for his behavior. Now listen, I don't know if Kanye West is suffering from some kind of mental illness, as people are saying, or he had an opioid addiction and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what's going on with Kanye West. But apparently, Ye isn't the guy that people fell in love with all those years ago.
I am in hip-hop, but I'm not just in hip-hop.
It's time for people to stop making excuses for the brother and just accept that Kanye West, this is who he is.
We all slaves. And y'all ain't experienced nothing right here but a moment from a movie out of glory.
He's shown us who he is. And what do people always say? When somebody show you who they are, believe them.
I've been doing this more than you.
That's today's reality check. You can take that to the bank.
You don't have the answers.
I'm asking you for the answer. It's a question.
We don't know.
I be turning heads. Syndicated, award-winning, and syndicated. This is the VTRS Vincent Radio Show. Vincent, Heartbreak, Tucker, Myskenna, Yellostar, Remon. That's who I forgot. Charity E.
That's who I forgot. That's what you forgot. You want to say that into the microphone?
I gotta take one shot at her.
Sure.
Because of my hashtag 2penny posts on Facebook.com, I am Heartbreak, and Twitter.com, I am Heartbreak _. I'm always getting hit up with questions on social media or through email from people wanting help with either their relationship, their career, or just life in general. Certain messages, though, I like to bring them in and let the team weigh in on them. If you're going through a tough time, whether it is your relationship, your career, or just life, the Heartbreak Kid is here to give you some advice and be a great sounding board for you. Alicia from, I don't know, I always thought Kansas City was in Kansas. Kansas City, Missouri. I should know better than that.
I mean, it's right there on the border.
Yeah, it's like they count the same.
Oh, so it is a Kansas City, Kansas.
Yes.
Oh. You know,
there's a line.
I saw this, I was like, she don't know where she's emailing me from. She's not in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes.
My bad.
Yep.
Alicia writes, 6 months ago, I started back a relationship with my ex I've known for 15 years. Everything was really amazing until I looked through his phone and found an Adam for Adam account, a gay website, with his pic of his penis and profile account.
He's gay.
This man is a manly man with no hint of homosexual behaviors. Initially, he denied everything, but then told the truth with hope to save the relationship. He mentioned he was, quote, curious and wanted to know what goes on. He swore he never met anyone off the site and totally forgot about the account. I know he loves me unconditionally, but my gut is telling me to let it go and my heart is telling me to work through it.
You better.
I don't look at him the same. What should I do?
You shouldn't look at him the same.
Hey, for real. What is he curious about?
Exactly. Look, I am about to be 33 years old this year. I have never been curious about what...
This is one of them situations where the test just went all the way wrong. You know, what had happened was she tested him and she figured out that he enjoyed it a little bit too much, and that's what led her to go through his phone.
What?
And then that's how she found the Adam to Adam.
She's saying she did the touch test.
Now, yeah.
On his phone.
A woman, quote unquote, accidentally slides her finger towards a man's,
yeah, anal area.
I almost hit a girl.
See, that guy liked it, and that piqued his curiosity.
So it's her fault, is what I'm hearing you say.
No, it's his fault, because he's gay. He needs to just tell her that probably piqued it, but then the next guy came along and poked it.
Wow,
and
damn it.
Well, I should never tell Alicia we're going to talk about this on the show. Wow.
I'm
Right.
sorry. Hey, that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, you speak your truth, you know, bring the truth to light. The thing is, you either want to be with him or you don't.
No, you don't want to be with him.
But I've heard of this situation before. Actually, a close friend of mine went through this, and she kept giving him chances, and he kept doing the same thing.
Similar to this?
Yeah. Like,
wow.
He kept going to gay clubs, and he kept cross-dressing and, like, doing different things. And he was like, yes, I love you, and I care about you, but, I mean, he was also gay, so he wasn't getting that fix from her. So,
wow.
I mean, he's probably going to keep doing it. I mean, I've heard this story way too many times to tell you that he's going to stop.
So unless she's willing to put a strap on, that's the only way they're going to be able to stay together?
She said this is this man is a man.
I don't even think that's going to work.
With no hint of homosexual behaviors.
Look, I mean, the prison system is full of those. So.
I'm sorry, sweetie, and this is with a sincere heart. Let him go. Like, that's more emotional baggage than any woman could ever be ready for. And then not only that, the risk that come with dating a guy that lets somebody that's just gross. Ew.
That lets somebody what?
I had to read this again.
Let somebody play with her.
With a pig's penis and profile. Nissy denied everything.
We might get kicked off the air if y'all. You know how I feel about that.
No, don't get kicked off the air.
He mentioned he was
Exactly,
curious.
so I'm gonna be quiet.
And wanted to know what's going on. I've never wanted to know.
Ever. I've never been curious.
Not curious enough to, like, make a profile and post a picture of your penis on a profile on a gay website. I mean, come on, dog.
Like, you're soliciting pretty much.
I mean, he's trying to talk it down, you know, which is, I guess, the guy's way of lying, but, like, that's just ridiculous.
Like, he's fully invested at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
And then how do you deny it? She's seen it, so it's not like you can be like, oh, that ain't mine. Like, yeah, that's yours. I've seen that taco meat before.
Exactly.
All right, so what are we telling Alicia?
Leave him.
Start something new.
Ask those important questions before you move on with your next relationship.
I started back a relationship with my ex I've known for 15 years. See,
I have a question.
Oh, so he's been gay.
Exactly. Like, she been knowing him for 15 years and didn't know he was gay.
But he had already been with her.
How long they been broke up? That's how long they broke up. That's when he became gay.
Right.
Hey, no.
That's when he admitted.
No.
That's when he realized it.
No.
Ramon, he been gay.
He been gay.
Right.
You don't just turn gay because you break up with your girlfriend.
Laura Bencroft,
and he been gay. He been gay. Like, been gay.
Sorry, Lisa. I didn't think it'd go like
when
this.
He come home, he smelled like been gay.
I knew that it was going to go just like this, Alicia. Just like this.
Oh, wow.
Baby, I want to switch up.
Playing today's best music. Playing today's best music.
Imagine if I never met the broskies. God's plan. God's plan.
Listen to my heart go da-da, do-da,
That's on Tommy Campos. We live like Sopranos. And I walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
What's up, DFW? Y'all gotta join us for the grand opening of Tiki's Shaved Ice. Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue, Dallas, right down the street from Roosevelt. Tiki's Shaved Ice, open daily at 1 p.m. with over 80 flavors of soft, fluffy shaved ice. Tiki Shaved Ice will also have all your favorites. They got the nachos, Frito pies, hot dogs, and more. For the grand opening, try the special Cinco de Mayo snowballs. That's the grand opening of Tiki Shaved Ice. Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue in Dallas, and I'm gonna see y'all out there.
iHeartRadio does something no other app or website can do. Thousands of live radio stations you can take anywhere. Want to listen to that station in Denver? When you're in Philly? No problem. In Atlanta? And you miss LA? No problem. Plus, iHeartRadio lets you create your own custom artist station.
DJ Khaled, and this is iHeartRadio.
Just type in the artist you love, and iHeartRadio creates a station just for you. With their biggest hits, all commercial free. Free radio and unlimited music, all in one app. iHeartRadio.
It's time for He Say, She Say, the opportunity for me to bring y'all a subject, and then you guys give me some feedback from a male point of view. Well, I was sitting here and I had one topic, but because, Ashley wrote in.
Alicia,
thank you. I'm sure she'd like us to change her name to Ashley.
Maybe so.
It gave me the story that I've been wanting to do, and so I just thought, this is a great time. Jaden Smith has a gender-neutral clothing line called Misfits. It's basically where he says that he is set out to give everyone something that they might not be able to find somewhere else. He says that he took the I, because it's like really MSFTS. So he took the I out of the Misfits because he says we're a team, and there's no I in team. It's for a place for the lost kids and everyone to go and have something to have for themselves. So basically, it's a clothing line that's full of colorful coats, dresses, skirts, and pretty much fashion that men and women can wear. Like, he has this one, suit, but it's like a woman's, it literally has a jacket and a skirt for men. But it's not for men. It's for men and women. So I want to know, how do you all feel being able to have, him breaking down the barriers and having a gender-neutral clothing line?
listen, this new generation, I mean, they claim to not see color as much and
sexuality as much.
Apparently, I don't know. I turned 35 in less than 2 months. I'm out on this. I can't. I don't know.
I don't understand.
Are you out? It's a generation gap.
Are you out, or are you just not going to talk about it?
Are you out or in, Vincent? Let's go into your closet.
I'm a heterosexual male.
No, he wants to get out of the closet, Keith.
No. I hope so. No, I mean, my thing is this. You're right. Like, this generation, no gender. What kind of crap bull smackle is that? Like, I'm sorry. There's nothing sexy about seeing my man in a skirt. I don't care if you got a matching top to go with it.
You know what really what that's about though is she don't want him to look better than she does.
How we gonna go to church and your skirt is upstage in mine?
And she got a tear in her pantyhose and he don't.
And then, then I go to want to put my pearls on and you got them on. now we fighting over pearls. Ashley, I'm trying to help you out here, girl.
Alicia.
Oh.
Alicia from Kansas City, Missouri. But like you said, she probably gonna wish her name was Ashley.
Sure, let's call her Ashley. Actually, let's not call her Ashley. I got
but
a cousin named Ashley.
Glad I didn't say your whole name.
Right.
I know you guys are manly. You guys are manly men. So I really don't foresee this affecting you. But what if your son came home, because this new generation is so gender neutral, and he's a manly man, but he says, you know what, Dad, I just like the skirt.
What color is the skirt?
It's colorful. It's got a nice pattern to it.
Uh-huh.
Well, first of all, I decided about 4 years ago that Keena's daughter is the closest I'm ever going to have kids. So I don't think I ever have to ever experience this situation in my life. And I'm just going to walk out after that. I'm walking out of the scenario. I'm not touching
just going to put the mic down and leave.
I
got you.
I ain't got no kids, so I don't know exactly how to comment on that. I mean, I don't think you'll ever really know unless you're put in a situation to handle it. So, Yellow?
I don't know why you came to me that fast.
You have a son. Let's say Zach. One of his friends came. I'm not. We're
well,
not
no.
Zach, but one of his football fellas came over, and he had a blouse. Like maybe he had his mom's blouse in his bag, but he wanted to wear it for himself. And he's a football guy, and he plays video games and everything. But to
be honest, the thing that I would probably do is justify him not wearing the blouse by saying that he took it from his mom without asking. I would be real passive aggressive about how I would tell him that what he was doing was wrong.
And that's being one of your shirts.
No, I would definitely give him a shirt.
Oh, okay. No,
but I'm gonna be like, no, don't wear it.
And I'm gonna tell your mama you're taking her clothes.
Right, exactly, because I don't know if I'm that comfortable to have that conversation with him. Like we've had a conversation about like people that played basketball, they were wearing the floral leggings to like as like warm ups.
Yeah.
And so we had that conversation, and he never really did it. Like he wanted leggings, but he wanted the like the dry fit ones that didn't have patterns or anything, which I was okay with, but when I saw that I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. So I would probably do it in a real passive-aggressive way to get out of actually having that conversation with him, but still try to get him out of that, because, I don't see value in it, but, the best thing about it, though, is that he doesn't see anything wrong with it. I like that because he's not out there judging people, which is a good thing. I don't think that that's something that I want for him.
Well, call me judgmental, because...
Judgmental ass.
The moment that we don't put our foot down and continue to allow this behavior to happen, that's the reason why they think it's okay. Like, it's not okay. It's just because we continue to keep accepting it. Like, at what point do we stand up and say, no, this is not right? Pull your pants up, put on gender clothing, appropriate clothing, and just be a man, doggone it.
I say if you're going to wear a skirt, at least you could do is be a man about it.
We're just going to Peter, are you going to close the segment up?
Yeah, I hope so.
Transition?
I hope so.
Transition.
Paula Patton, the star of the new film Traffic, that's in theaters right now, is up next on the VTRS. Let's get away from this segment.
What you want, this ain't what you want.
Syndicated and award-winning and syndicated. This is the VTRS, the Vincent Radio Show. It's your main man, Vincent Heartbreak Tucker. And as we continue to be the new home for Black Star Power, our guest this episode is Paula Patton, who is the star and also one of the producers of the brand new film Traffic that's in theaters now. Bria, aka Paula Patton, and John, aka Omar Epps, embark on a romantic weekend getaway to an isolated estate in the mountains. They are pleasantly surprised when two of their friends, Darren and Malia, also show up unexpectedly. Their plans for fun soon give away to terror when members of a violent bike gang invade the peaceful countryside. Banded together, they now find themselves in the fight for their lives as their assailants will stop at nothing to protect their secrets from the outside world. So Paula, in watching the film, I was surprised at just how much human trafficking is actually a thing. It was something I didn't expect watching this film. It seemed like in this film you really wanted to express that. How important this is, how much this actually happens here in the United States, that it's not a third world country issue, that it's an everywhere issue. How important was it to stress that message? Was that the point of the film?
It's the surprise, right? Is that you don't expect it to happen. The information, you're just kind of going on this ride, and then then it's revealed the slavery that's going on.
So how much about human trafficking did you know about prior to being part of this film?
I didn't know much about human trafficking at all, to be honest with you. I mean, I knew that it existed, but to find out that it was, second to arms dealing and its probability that it makes that much money, and that at the end of the day, we need to call it what it is. It's slavery. And that when we start telling the truth, we can really start dealing with these issues.
So this movie, of course you're starring in it, but you're also doing a little directing, and you're one of the producers of the film. Is this a career change or a career advancement that you've always wanted to make?
I think I was always moving in this direction. I went to USC Film School. I graduated from there, did PA work, assistant work, before I became an actress. And so I've always had a love of films and the whole process. And so it's just been a gradual process to finally get the opportunity to do so.
So what ultimately drew you to working with writer-director Deon Taylor and to be a part of this romance-turned-thriller about sex trafficking called Traffic?
What's great about Deon is that he truly is a confident man, and he really encourages people to collaborate with him, and he brings this enthusiasm to set. So I knew that when we had this movie, there would be all this freedom, but then you also have a serious subject matter that you want to bring light to, but most importantly, you want to entertain people. And so I saw a chance. Yes, there is some moments that are challenging, but overall a very fun ride to be a part of. Hey, that girl. Something in my gut was telling me that she needed help.
I think I put my phone in your bag by accident.
Let me help you.
Just give me the phone. Just give me the phone, okay?
You will too.
Hold on!
Traffic, starring Paula Patton, Missy Powell, William Fichtner, Rosin Sanchez, Luke Goss, Oh My Ups, Laz Alonso, and more, is in theaters now.
Syndicated, award-winning Syndicated VTRS, as we continue to broadcast each and every episode, from Luxury Studios, FBRN.us in Arlington, Texas. So we're looking at this, I guess it's Car Club?
Yeah, we up here Negro watching.
That's a similar. And speaking of Negroes, we were talking about how much us Negroes love them Chrysler 300s out there.
That's when they take all the signage off the vehicles and put new grills on it. Yeah.
The Pope Man's Bentley.
What Dodge is this? What kind of Dodge is this?
That's a Dodge,
SRT.
Whatever it is, about 8 of them just rolled up. We love them cars too.
I'm gonna go down there and actually get their information because I need a car show for Tiki's.
Somebody just pulled up an Audi too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull up my Hyundai Elantra and get booed out the.
Hey, I just washed my car, so I might be able to go put it over there. It might shine good over there.
I'm going over there and take a Instagram picture.
That's all.
So take a bunch of pictures in front of
all these cars. Like, look.
That's all females that just got out of the Dodges.
Okay. Okay.
What they look like?
They got pink hair?
Yeah, one of them got red hair to match her red tires.
One of them is a big old dude.
But see,
all Negroes.
Yeah, it's a couple females over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Random Uber fact. Diana Ross, who sang Ain't No Mountain High Enough, lost her ex-husband to a mountain climbing accident. So I guess
apparently there is a mountain high enough. Take your husband away from you.
Wait a minute. That's not nice. Condolences to the family.
You think?
Oh my God.
Express opinions and thoughts.
I'm sorry.
That's very ironic though.
They say you get what you put out in the atmosphere.
Vincent, guys, I cannot tell you how hard Vincent is trying not to laugh right now. He is really trying hard not to laugh.
Ain't no mountain high enough to keep me from you.
So it was like pretty much, it was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
She foreshadowed.
That was the Holy Spirit talking to her. So I'm gonna give you this song real quick.
Keita has the grand opening.
I'm sorry.
Plug your grand opening real quick, Keita.
Tiki's next week if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 1626 Morrell Avenue, Dallas, Texas, right down the street from the zoo. We're going to have all kinds of giveaways, opportunity for you to come out and test all of our different products. We're going to have you guys. I'm having a prayer circle at 12:30. Just, make sure I give the business back to God.
Hey.
And, we're going to just have a good summer this year.
You said you got some giveaways scheduled for the opening?
I do. Let everybody kind of, every hour we'll have a different special on each of the products so that they can come out and test it. For the first 100 people, they'll get free snowballs on their next return.
Do that thing.
So, this is your boy Yellowstar. I just want to say shout out to all my friends and family. I have some family that just graduated from college yesterday. So congratulations to him, my cousin, Joshua in Austin at Concordia College. Dad and Mom Star will be here later today, so I'll be glad to see them and spend some time with them. That's your boy Yellowstar. I'm leaving now.
I think I've said enough for the day.
What's up, DFW? Y'all gotta join us for the grand opening of Tiki's Shaves Ice. Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue, Dallas, right down the street from Roosevelt. Tiki's Shaved Ice, open daily at 1 p.m. with over 80 flavors of soft, fluffy shaved ice. Tiki Shaved Ice will also have all your favorites. They got the nachos, Frito pies, hot dogs, and more. For the grand opening, try the special Cinco de Mayo snowballs. That's the grand opening of Tiki Shaved Ice. Saturday, May 5th, 1626 Morrill Avenue in Dallas, and I'm gonna see y'all out there.
So, today's something to ponder is, are you in a season where it seems like every corner you turn, nothing is right? Are you trying, but things get harder and harder? The good news is that God loves you. Ephesians 6:12 and 18 says, "For your struggle is not against flesh and war, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the darkness, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. After you have done everything to stand firm. Then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all of this, take up your shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flame arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. So as you pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests, with this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. So basically, Ephesians 6:12 is just saying when you're going through it, it's your job as a believer to know that if you give it over to God, because it's our job to give God the glory, and it's Satan's job to kill, steal, and destroy, to stay strong, put on your full armor, because no matter what you're doing, God will always have the victory. This is your girl, Myskenna, wrapping up today's Vincent Tucker Radio Show with today's Something to Ponder.
Every episode of the award-winning Vincent Tucker Radio Show is produced by Aaron Channel. Executively produced by Aaron Channel, Arkena Dansberg, Cornelius Johnson, and Vincent Heartbreak Tucker. Launched in December 2007, the VTRS is a CWC Entertainment Group LLC production.